this now? We're doing this now, apparently. Okay. Oh, she has Chicky. Okay. She has to bring Chicky along for the show, you know. Okay. So I've had this class like a workshop, but it's also nice to kind of give you some information because I am an educator at heart. So my goal always is to not just, teach you how to practice what we're doing today, but I want to inform you and educate you so you have the knowledge yourself, right? Like, what good is me having information if I'm not going to share it with you, right? Because that's kind of like what my job is. I'm a teacher. So, energy centers. A chakra is an energy center, and the ones we're focusing on are the 7 main ones, right? That go from the spine, the very bottom, so the tailbone, all the way to the crown. And it corresponds to an area in the body. I have my lovely notes, but I have a lovely quote that I want to quote and I want to say. That's why I have my notes here in front of me. So according to Anodea Judith in her book, and she has lovely, lovely yoga books. If you need resources, references, any of her books are absolutely amazing. And the book is called Chakra Yoga. A chakra is a chamber in the temple of the body that receives, assimilates, and transmits life force energy. So for a chakra to be balanced, it must be able to do all of those, to receive, assimilate, and transmit energy. And so with that thought, it is also possible for the chakra to be overactive or underactive. And that's kind of what we're going to be evaluating as we're practicing tonight. So find a comfortable seat, cross-legged if you like, or maybe you have the legs tucked underneath you, kind of more in a Virasana, but feel comfortable. We're going to be here for a few moments as we check in. So sitting up nice and tall, bring the shoulders over the hips. Allow the eyes to close from top to bottom, or at least allow the eyes to rest gently on the floor in front of you. Soften through your jaw, your face, your eyes. Just notice any areas that you might be holding tension. But maybe you'll find that as we are practicing, you notice those areas better in certain poses. It's more apparent where you're holding the tension. So if you can't address all of them right now, that's okay. Taking a few breaths here. And try to leave a little space in between your teeth so you're not clenching or grinding the teeth inside of the mouth. And so I want you to bring your hands first straight out from the arms, first straight from the shoulders, and then bring them back. And then just begin opening and closing the palms, making fists and then balls, right? See if you can go a little faster. If you want, you can, of course, keep your eyes closed. That suits you. Or you can open them if you wish, or just keep them half open, half closed. Just gentle opening and closing, pumping, kind of getting to the point where like the hands feel very tired. Good. And so this is an opening exercise to demonstrate like what a chakra energy or an energy center would feel like. So the sensation. Okay, so open and close. I'm still going. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it in the wrists. I'm feeling it in the forearms. Okay, and then gently bring the hands to face one another, palms open. And then gently begin to bring the palms together. Slowly. You may begin to feel in the center of your palms kind of like this ball-like sphere shape that you can like kind of press and then it resists a little bit. So I want you to be thinking about like that's what an energy center, these energy centers in your body might feel like. Like you're holding this orb. And if you want to do it again, you can definitely experience that again. Pump the hands open and closed. Good. And then bring the palms facing each other and just kind of bring, you might notice the resistance if you get the palms closer together. Okay, so that's the idea. Just Take the hands, brush them, shake it off. All right, let's come into our first shape. So this is going to be our root chakra. So we are going to come into a dangling position. So these are all yin postures. So this is like one of the two postures that we do on our feet. So dangling, if you want to come from a standing and then gently roll forward, you can. Soften the knees. You can use props. You're more than welcome to use some blocks or a bolster. Set them up underneath you. Anyway, I like to have my feet about hip distance apart. And then I feel really grounding. So that's the idea, right? So we could have done a seated posture as well, right? Like caterpillar, that's the other choice. We could have done like a forward fold, a seated forward fold. But essentially, we're kind of in that forward fold position anyway, right? But different orientation. We're on our feet instead of on the hindquarters. We're not on the back body. So I'm going to set a timer here for 2 minutes. And then as we're here, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the root chakra, right? And what it means. And if you feel like you might be a little overactive or underactive in this energy center. So you can bring those blocks underneath the shoulders and then just let your head go. And then find that center. The knees can have a slight bend to them. The hamstrings or the low back feel tight. But try to release the upper body as much as you can. Hands can be on blocks for support. You can even bring a bolster on top too, if you really want some support, and bring the forearms down. So this practice is always meant to meet you where you are. You take what you need from this practice. So as we're in this shape, I'm just going to talk to you about it. And just find that comfortable, even breath. So this is considered the root chakra. It's a masculine energy center located at the base of your spine, and the color is red. And if it is an overactive chakra, then you might be a little bossy or domineering. The ego might be big, greedy. You might be violent or even cunning. An underactive root chakra, you might feel unloved, sexually inadequate, frustrated, fearful, shy, or unsure. And if it's balanced, you're grounded, you feel like you belong in this world, you're trusting, you're independent, you're alive and poised. And the mantra is I am. I am. Keep taking those nice breaths, not holding the breath. All right, friends, slowly come up. You can roll up, you can squat down. If you want to come to a standing position, feel free. There's a few moments in between each shape. So if you want to take some movement, you're more than welcome to maybe take some cats and cows. Anything you wish. Just move naturally. Just address the area that you're feeling some sensation and be like, okay, what can I do? What might feel good? Good. Right. So when you're ready, we're going to come down to a comfortable seat. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together to come into a butterfly pose. Again, if you feel like you want to use some props, we do this one frequently. If you want to try something different, maybe you take the bolster underneath the knees if you want some support. Might feel really nice. You can take 2 blankets, fold them over, do the same thing. So it's like a shorter, version of a bolster. And then you can come forward into that kind of a shape. Or again, blocks are nice too. Blocks can be on the outsides of the thighs. Again, soles of the feet come together. Place them at any height, whatever height you need them to be. So the idea here is we want to stress the outside of the hips and the low back. But if it's coming to be too much for the hip flexors, right? This is where the blocks or the bolster come in very handy. They offer that support that you might need. So take what you need for this practice tonight, and we'll get into it. And then I'm going to talk to you again a little bit about the shape. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. So take your time. Don't feel like you need to come really fast down into the shape, like really deep. Take your time, right? Time is our friend in yin, because that's what we do. We find the appropriate depth for the posture. We hold still and we hold for time. So as you come into your butterfly, if the first energy center was masculine, then this one would be considered feminine. Sacral, Svadhisthana. Emotions are creativity. It's located in the pelvis, the sacrum, the hips, the reproductive organs. And the color would be orange. If it's an overactive sacral chakra, then we are feeling like we need power. We might be manipulative or craving, right? That's kind of like something that we deal with in yoga, that craving, that desire, right? It's one of our, it's one of the things that yogis need to be aware of as we practice, right? Like the desire to keep wanting more and more, right? So it's always that balance of like not being overly greedy and grasping, but just allowing. It's a good reminder. So if it's underactive, we might be feeling shy or guilty, afraid to interact, lost, overly concerned about what other people may think. And if it's balanced, we're friendly, passionate, we're feeling fulfilled sexually, we might be in a good mood, playful, and naturally flirty. And that mantra would be, I feel. I feel. And maybe you gently pull your chin in more. You might begin to feel more in your cervical spine. And just allow gravity to do the work here. Slowly, you'll notice you're coming closer and closer towards the floor. But let it just be natural. Don't force it. Non-injury, non-harm. Again, notice if you're clenching your teeth. Are you holding tension anywhere? Can you soften through the backside? Can you release the outside of the hips a little bit? Right? You can even use the elbows to press the knees down a little bit more if that is within your practice and you're not experiencing anything in the knees, in the knee joints. We always want to make sure we're protecting the joints. Even though this practice is meant to stress the soft tissues, we don't want to cause injury. So again, this practice asks you to be present and aware and feel, right? So trying to get out of up here, the thing in between the ears. And just breathing here. All right, my friends, slowly to come out. Take your hands down to the floor, slowly roll up. Take your hands on the outsides of the knees, slowly bring them together. And then if there's anything that you need, if you want to straighten your legs, give them a little shake. If you want to come down to your back and hug your knees in for a little knees to chest, that is always an option as well. So take what you need, but we will meet on our backs. Maybe nice little, if there's anything going on your low back now, it might feel nice to just take your hands on top of your knees and bring the knees in a circle in one direction. And then reverse. All right, so gently bringing your knees in towards your chest. We are coming into the third energy center, which is considered the solar plexus. So again, if we're going from the ground up, from the root to the sacral, right? Masculine, feminine, masculine. So that would be the area between the navel and the heart. And that is the color yellow. So think of this energy center as the color yellow. So red, orange, yellow, thinking rainbow, those are the colors, right? So this would be our personal power, the Manipura, personal power, willpower. So when you're ready, come down to your back. I'm going to guide you into the shape, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it. So down to your back, bring your knees into your chest on an exhale, and then slowly inhale. And exhale, now drop the knees over to the right. Left arm reaches out. If the knees do not make it down to the floor and they're just hovering, feel free to place a blanket, a block, a bolster, whatever you need underneath the knees on the side to support them, making sure this left shoulder is grounding down. Good. So we're going to be here for about 2 minutes on each side. So as we're here, I'll talk to you a little bit about this particular chakra. If it is overactive, we might be a little judgmental, stubborn, critical, or maybe even considered a bully. If it's underactive, our self-esteem might be low. We might be a little apathetic to situations around us. We might procrastinate, or we may feel like we're being taken advantage of, or not knowing what to do. This particular chakra for me resonates so much, right? This is a good one. For me, this one, the solar plexus and the throat chakra go together for me, right? 3 and 5, they work together for me. So being able to, if I have low self-esteem, I'm not going to feel good about speaking my truth and saying it out loud, right? But once I felt like I got my personal power and I felt confident, then my voice came out. Kind of cool how they work together. All right. So breathing here. Now, if it's a balanced chakra, we might feel respect for ourselves and for others. We feel confident, we're outgoing, we are able to problem solve, we appear calm, and we have integrity. And the mantra is I do. So I do, right? That willpower. You have the power to do it. I do. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. You got Chicky? How's Chicky? And so breathe into this side rib area, the intercostals. Think about breath going down into the hips. If you're feeling anything in that area, you might be. Good. On an inhale, slowly bring the knees up. Good. Exhale, stay there. Rock a little side to side. We still have one more side to do. If you want to take a few circles in between rounds, you can do that. Just make sure you go both ways. Even it out. Good. Inhale, and then exhale, bring the knees over to the left. Right arm out to the side, cactus arm, goalpost arm, or if you have space, maybe it's just straight out to the side. And then you take your choice of which direction you want to turn your head. You can bring your head same direction as your knees, turn it away, or keep your head neutral and face towards the sky. Again, just breathing here. Notice where you're feeling that sensation. Is it an area that is chronically tight? Do you chronically have discomfort or pain? Is there anything that has changed in your activity, more or less? Is there more sitting and less walking, or vice versa? Right? It all is connected, right? And this is what this practice asks you to do. It asks you to connect to the body and not just operate from the neck up. Many of us have disconnected from the body. We don't pay attention to the signs it's giving us. Even simple signs of I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I'm tired. We ignore it and then we suffer consequences, right? Sometimes later, and the problems get worse. So it's important when those little check engine lights go on in the body that we're checking in and we're addressing those things before they become bigger issues. Good. Stay for one more inhale. Good. Exhale, bring those knees up. Again, any kind of movement. You can rock it side to side. Take it into a happy baby if you like. But take some movement. Good. And when you're done with your movement, we'll come up into a comfortable seat and we'll get ready for the next one, right? Just moving on up. So after solar plexus is heart, is the heart chakra. Good. So for this one, we will be on the belly. I'm going to face, guess I'll face this way. All right, if you want to add more, we're coming into Sphinx, so we will come down to the belly. If you want to add more, if you feel like your low back can handle more, you're more than welcome to take a blanket, fold it over once, and place it at the top of your mat and place the elbows on top. Or if you want to do a bolster or maybe some thin pillows, if you want to start building it up, that's just going to add more like flexibility, more movement in the back. So if you're up for it, please feel free to do so. But if not, you can just keep the elbows down on the floor. They don't need to go anywhere else. You will feel definitely sensation. So elbows slightly in front of the shoulders. Good. And then if you want to like just rock the hips side to side, just get comfortable. Like this feels normal, right? We remember hanging out like this frequently. I remember being like this, sitting, in front of the TV as a kid, laying on my belly and just having my hands rest in, my head rest in my hands and watch TV like this. This was a common, this should feel familiar, yes? Okay, good. I see a lot of hearts. Okay, cool. I don't know. This was just comfortable, right? It's what we did. There was no space on the couch. You had to find an alternative place to watch television. And sometimes it was just fun to be on the floor, right? Who said you have to sit in a chair all the time? Okay, so coming down into the Sphinx posture. If you like, you can drop that head back, bring the chin towards your chest, or just kind of let it hang out neutrally. So you find the best head position for yourself. And I'm going to set our timer here. We're going to be here for a little while. We're going to be here for 4 minutes. The last minute will be optional to come up into seal and take it a little bit deeper. Like I said, optional. So let me talk to you a little bit as you settle into your shape. Now this is going to be considered the 4th energy center. So again, moving up, first one, masculine, feminine, masculine. Number 4, feminine, the heart center, anahata, love, our heart. That is the location, the heart center. The color is not red, right? We've already covered red. This is green. So think of a green energy center. And if it is an overactive heart, We might be feeling entitlement or jealousy or blaming others or giving too much. Underactive would be feeling unloved, self-pity, fear, or rejection. Neediness, clinginess, uncertainty. If we're feeling balanced, we feel loved, loving, empathetic, a contagiously good vibe. The mantra would be, I love. So a mantra that I like to say, for this one is, I love, I'm loved, and I am loving, right? I am love, I am loving, or excuse me, I am love, I am loved, I am loving. So that's a nice little one. So settle into this shape however you're choosing to with your head positioning. And breathe. If the low back is feeling a little stress, more stress than you would like, take the feet apart. You can bring them as wide or wider than your yoga mat if you need to. That just creates some space in your low back. Otherwise, you can walk them together and let the heels roll open. Again, checking any of those areas where you have that normal tension. Where do you normally place, like where do you normally hold that tension? Is it in the face, in the shoulders, in the hips? Breathe into those spaces and let go on the exhale. All right, my friends that want to come up into seal and they want to take this posture a little deeper, place the hands on the floor. We're going to press into them. Press and then slowly lift the elbows. Try to soften the glutes a little bit. Remember, we're trying to get into the soft tissues. We're not trying to use the muscles here. I mean, inadvertently, some muscles will be used, right? Like the arm muscles to hold us up. But we're trying to get into the back, the spine here, the hips, the glutes. Where can you let go? Good. Another breath. One more inhale. Good. Exhale. Release the elbows. Take your hands, make a little pillow, stack one palm on the other, and then rest your forehead on top and just pause there. Just take a moment to let the back settle before you do anything else. And then when you are ready for some movement, maybe you bend the knees and just let the feet sway a little side to side. It's a nice little release for the back. All right. When you're ready, just place those hands underneath the shoulders. Maybe kind of press back into a little child's pose. If you need anything else, feel free to take it now. So maybe it's a child's pose, or maybe you choose to come up into some cats and cows. Take whatever movement you need, or take some water. So far, so good, everybody? Hanging in there? All right, I'm just gonna pop over there. Hi, Brandon, welcome. Hi, Simi, hello, welcome. Oh, good, we have quite a few of you here tonight. Well, welcome, welcome, welcome. So this is our Yin Chakra Balancing one that we do, that I like to do every quarter. So, this is like the beginning of the Winter Solstice. So that's what we are practicing. So yay, so happy you all could make it. And don't forget to donate to your yoga teacher, okay? I appreciate it. Okay, so as we're getting ready for the next one, this is going to be our throat. So we're moving up. Heart was green. Now we are moving into blue. Now, for this one, whether you have pillows, you might have a bolster, you might have some blocks, or you can do this without anything. This is going to be fish. So I'm going to show first with nothing, okay? So legs will be straight. You're going to take those hands, slide them underneath the backs of your hips and like the tops of the buttocks, right? It's going to be a little different for everybody because everybody's arm bones are a different length. So for me, I might have to slide mine a little bit more in order for me to bring the top of my head down and for me to puff up my chest a little bit. I'm just going to let my feet roll open to the sides. All right, so you're more than welcome to come into this shape. Suns, pot, like any props, right? You can do that, or this is the other choice I'm offering now. We call this slide in Yin. So bolster, and then I'm going to take some blocks. Bolster is going to be under the torso, the shoulders. Head is going to be on the floor. Blocks are underneath the feet. So I'll set us up into it if you're coming along for this version of it, this ride. So like I said, torso, shoulders, and then head is on the floor. So this is another version, right? A little different, but might be a little more accessible, okay? So I want you to make the right decision for yourself. We're gonna be here, let's say 3 minutes. I don't think we need to be there super long, but find your position and then let's talk a little bit about the throat. So if the heart was feminine, the throat's going to be a masculine quality, right? Vishuddha, communication. The throat, that is the area where this energy center is, this particular chakra. The color is blue. And if it's an overactive throat chakra, and I'll share with you what I always share with you when I teach this particular practice. If it's overactive, we're speaking too much, we might be boring others, seen as criticizing or stubborn. Now, have you ever, I'm sure we've all been there, right? We're talking to somebody and we might be telling them about something that is very important to us and very interesting to us. But then you can kind of see that kind of like glazed over look. Maybe they're looking at their watch. They're giving you some nonverbal cues. They're looking around. Maybe they yawn even. I don't know. But they're telling you basically, I'm not interested. Now, if that happens to you, or you find yourself in that position, because it happens to me frequently, I mean, not frequently, but I'm aware, right? It is awareness. I say the acronym, WAIT. Why am I talking? Why am I talking? Because sometimes they don't need to hear what I need to say, right? Maybe this isn't something that they need to hear. I'm kind of wasting their energy and my energy. So if you are ever in that position, right, that would be an overactive throat chakra. If it's underactive, maybe you cannot express yourself, afraid to speak in public, you cannot express the creative side, seen as timid or dependent. If it's balanced, you can express yourself, you speak the truth, and you feel creative, right? This is a great chakra. This is why this one and the solar plexus for me go together, right? It's having that confidence enough to be able to share my truth, to teach, right? I struggled a lot with this stuff when I first started teaching yoga, right? I didn't feel confident enough. I didn't feel like, well, who am I? Well, I have something to say and I have something to share. And I'm sure there's people out there that may want to hear it and are receptive to how I convey my message, right? About yoga, right? You got to find your people. If it's balanced, like I said, you can express yourself, you speak the truth, and you're creative. So the mantra would be, I speak. I speak. So you might be feeling, right, that throat area opening up. All right, my friends. Gently, carefully bend one knee at a time. Place the feet on the floor. And then place the hands down on the floor. Gently lift your head on an inhale. Then use your arms to support you to come up. All right. Hello, William. Love that. Appropriate to share weight with people who do that. Yeah, do it. Tell them how it works for you, and maybe they'll get the hint, right? I have a gal at work. I adore her. Okay. Adore her. I know she's been through some stuff. I get that. I'm very empathetic. I'm very I pick up on I can tell when people have been through stuff because of what they do. And when people have experienced trauma, it's like a trauma response, right? We just end up like TMI, just oversharing. And she does it to me all the time. But I also know that she knows I'm an empath, and she is as well. But I think it's because she knows who I am and I know who she is, that she feels comfortable and safe with me to overshare, right? We have those people we can overshare with, and we're okay with it, and they're okay with it. But when you just meet, general people, like not people that know you really well, those general people, there is a time where you need to respond, wait, why am I talking? I don't need to be giving this much information, right? Okay. Hi, Diana. The throat is the chimney of the heart. I love that. Oh, I'm going to have to write that down. I need to write that down. I will write that down because that is good. The throat is the chimney of the heart. I love that. Yes, indeed. For sure. Okay, we're moving on up. Moving on up. Okay, throat. So from the throat, we are going to the third eye center. So with that, we are going to take a child's pose because that is the energy center. We are going to connect with the earth. Now, if you are not connecting with the earth with your third eye, I am going to give you some options. Betty, how's Chicky doing? Chicky's good tonight? Yeah? Okay. All right, now here's some choices. You may take a bolster in between the legs with another blanket, fold over, make it like a little pillow, right? First it's, hot dog style, and then you fold it over, and then you can make something like that, and then you can place your forehead down like that. This is very lovely. If the bolster is too much, then you don't need to use a bolster. Maybe you just use the blanket, and you can do something like that too. So it's a soft landing. Yep, so this is quite nice too. Just that. Or maybe you don't use any props at all, and that's always a choice, right? The idea too in yin is that we want to add the support when we need it, but then can we scaffolding, right? This is very familiar to me, right? As an educator, you scaffold for your students, right? Until they can get to the posture, till they can get to where they need to go, right? So you just give them you give them some support, you give them some scaffolding. And then when they master it, then you take that scaffolding away, and then they're going to be able to get to that next level because they've already been able to kind of you've built little steps, right? Exactly. So we can do that with the body. We can do that in yoga. So find your child's pose. Now I want your arms to be however they feel comfortable. Bring them down alongside your body. Maybe you gently rest them on the floor. Maybe you even bring them underneath your head like we did before. If that's your child's pose, then that's your child's pose. But come down onto that third eye center, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about it as you're there. Good. Now, again, this is the 6th energy center, considered feminine. Ajna, intuition, the wisdom. Brow center is the location. The color is indigo. If it's an overactive third eye, we might be spaced out, lost, worrying, seen as living in a fantasy world. This makes me think of my ADD friends, right? The attention deficit disorder, the ones that kind of like drift off. So maybe think about that energy center. Yeah? A lot of things connect, my friends. I think so. Underactive. You can't see the bigger picture. Can be easily influenced, confused about your purpose, or doubting yourself. And if it's a balanced third eye, you might be intuitive, charismatic, you can meditate, you know your purpose, and you might be seen as wise. And the mantra is I see. I see, right? And it's not just the eyes, it's that intuition you're connecting with, right? That you feel something, you know something, right? It's important to listen to that, right? I don't know about you, but 2024 was a big lesson in listening to the intuition, and it's there for a reason, right? Good. Beautiful. We'll just be here for another minute in our child's pose. Just keep breathing, softening, letting go. See if you can bring that breath into the back body and feel the back ribs expand with your breath. Good. And then as you are ready, bring your hands underneath your shoulders and slowly push up to a comfortable seat. If you want to take any movement, because we are going to be coming into a sitting position for a few moments, we're going to do a little meditation before we come down to our Shavasana. So this is our crown chakra. So if you need movement, if you want to stretch your legs out, feel free to do that. But we will meet in a comfortable seat. So if you want to grab a bolster or a couple of blankets or a block to sit on, that's always a great choice. All right. Yay. I really enjoy teaching this particular class, this sequence, because for you, like me, it's a wonderful way just to kind of check in and be like, okay, where am I? Like, we're starting a new season. This is like the longest, tomorrow will be the longest night, right? So the shortest day in the year. And then from there going forward, it's going to start getting lighter, right? So it's kind of like, yay, like the darkest part of the season is over. Now we're going towards light, right? And then making our way towards spring. So it's a nice period, right? It's a nice place to just kind of assess and evaluate and just take stock, right? And it's a nice time because it does coincide with the holiday season and the new year. I don't always necessarily like to wait for the new year to make resolutions. I'm more of a I need to do this now. This change needs to happen right now, and I'm doing it right now. But for other people, if you are, I'm also a nutritionist, a holistic nutritionist, health and wellness coach as well as, besides being a yoga teacher, meditation and Reiki. So it's, little habits. And if there's anybody that's on this journey, maybe you're waiting until the new year to make resolutions and make those changes. If you are doing that, and if you're if you want to start making like really big things, what I'm going to tell you to do is just start doing little things. Just make little changes. And then once you master that change and that becomes habit and you can do it, Like maybe you want to start a meditation practice. Let's just pretend that's the goal, right? Don't say you're going to sit for an hour every single day, because you won't. I promise you, you won't. You'll stop the first day. Start with 5 minutes. Do it 5 minutes every day, every morning. Set a timer and do it. Come on to Insight Timer and do it. I do it. I use Insight Timer every morning. I've been using this app longer than I've been teaching on it. So I've been using it since I graduated teacher training. So since 2016. And I love this app, and that's why when I was able to teach on it, I was like, heck yeah, I'm going to teach on Insight Timer. So just if you're starting to make big changes, you want to maybe improve your health, you want to just make slight changes to whatever you have already going on, just start small. Start small, let it be consistent, let you master it, and then add in another layer, add in the next change, right? So prioritize the things that are important to you that you really want to start on. Is it your food? Is it having, cleaner products in your home? Is it making your home a healthier, toxin-free environment? I mean, if you need help or support with any of that stuff, please reach out to me. I love it so much. Like, honestly, like I want to help people be healthy and live happy, healthy, vibrant lives, and like taking the toxins out and finding ways to detox the body. Yoga is a fabulous way to detox the body, but there's other things that we can do too that are natural and holistic. And that's my goal, right? Natural and holistic. So, okay, I'm off of my advertisement for myself. Let's come back to the yoga. We're going to come to a comfortable seat. And this is our crown. So we're going to do a little breathing here. So the crown, the top of our head, the color is violet. It's our spiritual connection. So if we were having an overactive crown chakra, we would be addicted to spirituality, craving attention, needing to be popular, maybe an over erotic imagination. If it's underactive, we might be feeling misunderstood. We may not be able to have fun. We are unaware or denying one's spiritual connection. I know a few people, things like that have happened to. They've had things happen in their life and then they feel disconnected from spirit or whatever they call their higher power. Yeah, it happens. Now, if you have a balanced crown chakra, joy, you feel connected to the source, you're aware of your own individuality, and you are wise and compassionate. And the mantra is, I understand. I understand. So with that, we are going to practice alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. I love this one. We're going to be doing the one for relaxing, right? The yin side. So using the right hand, taking the ring finger and pinky finger together, and then taking your index and your middle finger together, and your thumb is just going to be there for support. Okay. Now you can bend the pointer, the index finger and the middle finger, bend it, or you can place them on your forehead, but we're going to be using the thumb and the ring finger and the pinky to do the closing of the nostrils. So let's just take a couple breaths in and out through the nose just to kind of cleanse, clear it out. Exhale, and then inhale again. Both sides, exhale, release. One more round, inhale. Slowly exhale, release. Good. Now, taking your thumb, covering your right nostril, inhaling through the left nostril. The top of the breath, cover the left nostril with the ring finger and pinky. Release the right nostril, exhale. Inhale through the right nostril. Close that right nostril with the right thumb. Exhale, release through the left nostril. Exhale it out. Inhale through the left. Close the left nostril with the ring finger. Release the right. Exhale. So keep that cycle going. You're going to inhale up and then exhale other side. Stay on that side. Inhale. Close it off. Exhale through the right. So as long as you're not inhaling and exhaling through the same side, it's alternate. So you inhale one side, exhale the other side. But then you stay on that side and inhale up And then exhale the other side. So inhale, exhale, Good. Keep going. Be intentional and go slow with this breath. And the next time you exhale through the left, let that be your final round. And then release the hands to the tops of your knees. And you are more than welcome to come down into a Shavasana for a few moments, or you are more than welcome to stay in a comfortable cross-legged position and continue on with your meditation, just sitting quietly, so connecting. But choose whichever speaks to you, whatever makes sense, to come down into your back or stay in this position sitting. All right, my friends. If you came down to your back, just slowly make your way to a comfortable seat. And if you're in a comfortable seat, just gently blink open the eyes if you close them. Again, thank you so much for joining me in this practice. I love teaching this practice every quarter, every season change. So again, hopefully you kind of felt what was going on in your body. You kind of maybe made a little of an assessment and you're like, I'm feeling a little imbalanced here. Maybe something like you kind of intuitively picked up and then maybe I said something and it resonated and you're like, yeah, that's what's going on. So just take stock, right? This isn't a time to judge. This is a time to a time to observe and a time to just reflect and go, okay, what can I shift? What can I change? What can I let go of? This is just a time to, let it go, right? It's good. Okay, so on your inhale, let's bring the arms overhead. Inhale, palms touch. Exhale, bringing down all of that divine universal energy to your heart centers. And that divine universal energy vibrates as the frequency of love through which you and I and all sentient beings are connected on this planet. The light in me salutes and honors the light in all of you, my friends. Namaste. Thank you so much. Your donations are always greatly appreciated. Thank you for showing up. Let's see how many